If I was your best friend, I'd want you around me all the time. Can I be your best friend if you promise that you'll be mine?
But I want to touch on this too. There's this one lady. What would you say? There's this lady that says that she's she mentioned in a comment, she said that she's 44 years old, and she doesn't believe that she could do the friend to fiance thing. I'm assuming because she feels like she's too old and it's going to take too long.
The same thing I told my mom this morning. Like, shout out to my mom. I love you. She's like, man, I kind of just wish I knew then at your age what you know now. And I said, Mom, hindsight is always 2020. It's always shoulda, coulda, woulda. I said, but the last 20 years of your life, I said the next 20 years of your life can be better than the last 20 years of your life if you take the information that you know today, the information that you're researching today, the work that you are doing today, and you implement it. Yeah. And that's the exact same thing that I would say to that commenter. Like, you don't know what the next 20 years of your life is going to look like. You don't know what the next 20 months, next 20 days. God can do anything.
Next 24 hours.
If you just submit.
Yeah.
But instead, we get so fixated on our plan, our thought, our expectation.
I want to know. We have this thing in our brains as humans where we have to know. We have to figure out.
It's like, we make a plan. But when you submit, God establishes those steps.
Yeah.
And so that's the part where many of us are uncomfortable because it's like, okay, God, well, your steps don't follow my map. So something has to be wrong.
Your steps, yeah, that's really good. Your steps don't follow my map. Yeah. Your steps don't align with my emotions.
And I think that's kind of just what she's giving more reverence to, is the fact that her timeline, her expectation, her desire is not following whatever life that she's experiencing right now. And so, don't get me wrong, like, my sister was talking about, like this period of loneliness she referenced that you talked about in the last podcast, when you have just gotten out of a relationship and you're like, God, like, what do I do with these emotions? What do I do with this space, right? This space that used to be filled with another person, this time that used to be filled with another person. What do I do with this without finding, seeking the same spirit in a different body? Like, what do I do with that? And the same thing, it is submit that. You have to submit that.
Yeah.
You have to submit that and rediscover who you are, because you won't be the same after those experiences. Those change you, but even greater than that, God changes you.
My niece is 17 years old, and she said this morning, she put in our family group chat, she said, she put her notes, she watched the sermon, and she put the notes in the group chat, and she said, I realized I can't keep praying to God for guidance, but me not taking any steps myself to receive them.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good. Shout out to their niece.
Right.
Yeah.
So I, say that in connection to with that lonely thing is that, there's steps that you have to take. And if you're going through life waiting for a conclusion to come to your mind, waiting for a revelation, well,
meet me at the crossroads. That's the only time you're going to get it.
Here's the truth. Exactly. That's a fact.